BLSP stock update today. Well, as usual, there isn't any news out there. There isn't any formal news out there concerning Blue Sphere or BLSP stock. We just rely strictly on the due diligence efforts of a lot of market participants and out there, some of them in Europe and all that stuff. Delivering pictures, videos of Blue Sphere operations here and there, but we must thank especially Ray of 808 and for the effort they have been making to update us, to point to us to the many directives and many securities laws that affects Blue Sphere and the ones that they have also relied on to going to certain positions they are in today, going dark and all of those things, So one of the things that he is currently pointing out right now that is Ray of 808 is the fact that it seems that even though evidently there's no doubt that there are definitely more than 300 stockholders of Blue Sphere CORP-STOCK or BLSP stock. Without any doubt, there are definitely more than 300 shareholders, So, but what he's been pointing out is that that Rule 15C or something like that. Yes, we talked about that in the previous video. So just have a look and see what we talked about. We, provided links to that video, to the rules and to the links to those rules. So if you look at that video, you will have a look and see what we were talking about there. So if a company has gone dark and has more than 300 shareholders, then it has to come out and submit financial disclosures within 120 days. So what Ray of 808 has been pursuing, you may have seen that yourself, is what he's saying right now is that it seems that for every brokerage firm, all the shareholders they don't really count as individuals. So for every brokerage firm, they are counted as one shareholder. So and indeed there are many other people who are holding the certificates, but for you to go ahead and get those figures, it may cost $500 per person, per account, per individual and all that stuff. So what he's suggesting of late is transferring a slight or all of your position in Blue Sphere to a bank, and that way you'll be counted as an individual, because with the banks each account holder is counted as an individual, so as such each of your positions you have deposited with the banks will be counted as an individual shareholding in Blue Sphere. So that's what he's been clamoring now, and some people have gotten keen on doing so, and we have gone ahead and to try and see whether all of this is possible. We have an account with Charles Schwab, so let's see here whether that's possible. Let's see whether that's possible. But in any case, we have been able to look at that, and on Charles Schwab, it is possible. It is possible to do that. All you have to do is simply go ahead and go to accounts and then continue to proceed from there. There's now a link where you will be asked to provide. You can provide a link. You can log in through Charles Schwab into your various bank accounts. We have here Ally Bank, that is ALLY Bank, Bank of America, Capital One, Chase, Citibank, E-Trade, Wells Fargo, USAA, Navy Federal Credit, PNC Bank, TD Bank, US Bank. So all of these banks, if you have accounts with them, you can transfer some of your BS Blue Spare stock into those banks, and that way you may be counted. So that's the strategy way of 808 is trying to pursue now. But the other thing is that we also pointed out this we pointed out in the last video as well. We talked about the expert markets, and here people ask on Google. People ask, what is expert OTC? According to OTC Markets Group, their recently launched expert market is a private market to serve broker-dealer pricing and best execution needs in securities that are restricted from public quoting or trading. So we asked in the previous video, is Blue Sphere Corp relying on this provision, relying on the fact that the OTC market has launched this expert market? We asked that question. But the other question is, will the brokers that are holding Blue Sphere stocks be willing to participate in the expert markets? I think that's another direction we can go. We can all pressure some of these brokerages, Charles Schwab being probably the biggest of all of them. Because I think Robinhood doesn't really, serve Blue Sphere stock, so that probably easily makes Charles Schwab the biggest brokerage probably in the world that is holding Blue Sphere stocks. So I think it's one direction we can equally go when that comes up. That will be sometime in September. Evidently or easily, Charles Schwab is easily an expert. It is easily an expert, and it would easily be permitted or easily can participate in such a market. So I think one of the other things we can equally do is to pressure some of those brokerage firms to see that they participate in this export market when by the end of September or something like that. So the other one is, if we have to read on, is the question. These are some of the questions people ask. If you do your search, if you search with expert market OTC, you see some of these questions. So the other one is expert market better than gray market? It says, thanks to electronic trade execution, expert market stocks are generally considerably more liquid than gray stocks. It's unclear how many securities by now trade on the expert market, but the number is well into the hundreds at least. So, and right now the Blue Sphere, we believe, is trading in the gray market or gray market, yes. So moving down, we can also see another question. Say, what is gray? What is gray market OTC? Okay, let's ignore that. Say great. Okay, that we can quickly answer that. Gray market stocks are traded over the counter, which means they are not offered by a stock exchange, but only by brokers and trading providers. By taking a position on the gray market stock, you are taking a position on the company's potential market capitalization ahead of its IPO. So then the other question is what is the expert market? We have sort of answered that in the previous question. Expert market is an automated trading system that provides limited access for experts only. Qualified experts would be able to, qualified experts would include both qualified institutional buyers and accredited investors, as well as qualified purchasers, as defined in the section 2A 51A of the Investment Company Act. So yes, that's also brings us back to the question: will brokers or brokerages qualify to trade here, to participate in the expert market? It says here It includes both qualified institutional buyers. Well, I think easily they can. They easily fall into institutional buyers and accredited investors. Easily they'll probably fall into that classification, as well as qualified purchasers. So yes, like we asked in that video, is Blue Sphere relying on the provision of the expert market from the OTC? Is that what they're relying on? Well, who knows? And if they are relying on that, will the brokerages be willing to move on some of the stocks onto the expert markets or participate in those markets? I mean, I don't know how this is going to be done. Probably the brokerages don't move stocks to various stages or platforms. I think it's always down to the firms to move their stock to whatever level or part of the medium for it to trade. I mean, I'm not exactly an expert in this, but I want to believe that since the stock, it says here, according to OTC Markets Group, their recently launched expert market is a private market that serves broker dealer pricing. Okay, so yes, it does. So I mean, looking at it like that, I guess the brokers might easily be able to trade some of those, execute some of those transactions, or rather, some of those transactions might be able to go through the expert market, especially transactions concerning Blue Sphere. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Okay, it says here, is a private market to serve broker-dealer pricing and best execution needs in securities that are restricted from public quoting or trading. Yes, and for now, Blue Sphere is restricted. So, would that be the case? No, we don't know yet. We are going to find out if it will happen eventually, and it wouldn't be the best for Blue Sphere to have their stock totally delisted, because they still need that. Indeed, they have all the funding they need, I guess. If not, they would have done the due diligence. They are probably getting the fund. They definitely have all the fundings they need to a great extent. So leaving all of these technicalities aside, we can see that Blue Sphere closed down 27.27% for the session of the 16th of July 2021. That's a huge retracement. 50.5 million shares exchanged hands in that session. It was above average, and indeed we have a position there. And we're moving down. We can see it is approaching its 50-week lows, 52-day lows, 52-week range lows. It's approaching that now gradually. So it's currently at closed at 0.0008 dollars. So it's gradually approaching that, but you might still be surprised that it appears to be in a bearish medium term trend within a longer term uptrend. It's hard to believe that it's still within an uptrend trend, but that's the fact. Even though it has been retracing for some time now, it's still not up to 200 days, 200 trading sessions since it started to retrace. It's still not up to that. As such, the underlying trend is still very much a bearish one, because for a long time the stock was skyrocketing and it ran up huge gains, and some of these retracements we're seeing now, they're probably not up to 2 months old, or just about 2 months old, thereabout. Still not roughly 60 days, 60 trading sessions. That's why we still have an underlying trend that is still very much a longer term trend, a lot of an underlying longer term, an underlying trend, or rather a long term trend that is still very much bullish. So momentum for blue sphere strongly bearish, no doubt about that. The 14 period slow stochastic oscillator is below 20, the level which many analysts call oversold. This means that investors have been actively selling shares and driving the price lower. And the unbalanced volume indicator is bearish. The slope of that indicator is absolutely negative and suggests that buyers are lacking interest. They are taking money off the stock. And indeed, we know that the broader market, there was a huge sell-off there. The S&P lost about 60 points. The S&P futures, I know for sure, lost about 60 points or thereabout in just that last session, the session of the 16th of July 2021. So fingers crossed. If you want to go ahead with the strategy that Ray of 808 is plotting, you can always go to stock tweets and you see how things are going there. If you have an account with Charles Schwab, it is definitely possible to transfer some. I can't say it is. I think you can transfer some probably, but the caveat there is that if you want to be careful, if you want to transfer some of your stocks, the whole account might be moved to that. And then when it's once the whole account is moved, the account may be closed. So be careful what you're going to do about that. But I think there's a good chance you can transfer a small number of your holdings in Blue Sphere to your bank, and that way, according to Ray of 808, you will be counted as one individual holder, not as part of a group under your broker. Okay. So outside that, the other one is this expert's market provision. No, we don't know if that is what they are relying on, because even if they have all the money they need, they still need the listing is very important. Okay, fingers crossed. A lot of the people involved, a lot of market participants involved in Blue Sphere are holding strong. We are doing so as well. We're definitely not selling. And that is why it's always important not to put a lot of money in a lot of stocks, even blue chip stocks. Don't put a lot of money there, spread your money out. You can see if you are in Blue Sphere with a reasonable amount of money, the sort you can always ignore. You don't be fretting and wondering and itching and trying to see what's going to come out of it. Okay, so amongst other things, you can always invest your entire savings in the stock and still have the mental ability to hold on and be patient and just be patient and endure and the ride. But in any case though, thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll continue to update you. Thank you very much.